Hello, and welcome to Disease 101. I'm your host for tonight, JP. Today, we'll be looking at tetanus. Here we see a player chopping down a tree, not being worried about his surroundings. The player sees a house in the distance, and he runs towards it, forgetting that his traps are armed. The player may think he is safe, but this is just the start of his worries. See that arrow in his leg? That puncture wound is going to cause tetanus. The bacteria that causes tetanus is called Clostridium tetani. What this bacteria does is it produces a neurotoxin called tetanospasm that affects the brain and nervous systems.
It's just an arrow. I should be fine. At least the mobs didn't get to me.
Now that the wound is open, the Clostridium tetani bacteria can seep into it. Any type of puncture wound, from an arrow to a dog bite, can have the power to open your body up for tetanus to infect you. The effects of tetanus don't immediately kick in and can vary on when they show up. After the initial infection, symptoms can show up from 4 days later to up to 3 weeks after the initial infection. You can tell how long the incubation of tetanus will be by how far the injury site is from the central nervous system. Since the player was injured in the foot, it might take a while for the symptoms of tetanus to start showing up for him. The symptoms of tetanus are the following. Muscles would undergo muscle spasms and muscle stiffness. Muscle stiffness usually starts within the chewing muscles, which is how tetanus got the name lockjaw.
My jaw.
Muscle stiffness would then spread to the neck and throat, which would cause swallowing difficulties. Those suffering from tetanus may also experience facial muscle spasms. When neck and chest muscle stiffness sets in, breathing difficulties can occur.
Oh, man, what's going on? Jeez.
For some people suffering from tetanus, abdominal and limb muscles are affected. In severe cases of tetanus, the spine will arch backward as the muscles go under the effect of tetanus. The most common scenario for the spine bending backward due to tetanus is in children, so most adults don't need to worry about it. Other symptoms may include bloody stools and diarrhea, fever, headache, and sensitivity to touch.
What is that? What's happening to me? What's going on?
Well, let me check. Well, it seems you have tetanus.
What? How'd I get it?
Yes, tetanus. The Clostridium tetani bacteria probably started developing in the cow manure you have near your cow pen. Animal manure is a common spot for Clostridium tetani to habitat. It could have also been from any other source, since Clostridium tetani is a very resilient bacteria which could have lasted a long time outside of our bodies.
Oh.
If you just would have gotten your vaccine for tetanus, you could have been prevented.
But didn't I get my tetanus vaccine?
Have you been keeping up with booster shots?
Well, I haven't taken my booster shots for tetanus in 15 years, which I know goes against your recommendation of getting my tetanus booster shot every 10 years.
Yes. That's why you contract this disease in the first place.
Is there anything you can do, Doc?
Well, these will do. Since you have come to me so soon, and since the wound isn't that big, we won't need to do surgery. Also, since you haven't had much trouble with breathing, a ventilator won't be required either. We will just need to patch up that wound, of course, and inject you with this, which will kill the Clostridium tetani. This will be a short-term fix, though. I will also have you take this. This will prevent the neurotoxin released by the Clostridium tetani, tetanospasmin, from multiplying. As for your spasms, take this. This anticonvulsant will help stop the spasms by relaxing your muscles, also helping with any anxiety you may have pent up and working as a sedative. I recommend you take that when you get home so you don't fall asleep on the walk home.
Thanks.
Don't forget to take your medications.
Gotcha. Thanks, Dr. Speedwagon.